TrashKoala!
G'day guys, how are you?
We've been thinking about things lately, haven't we?
We have multiple great many things.
A multitude of things, and one of them is we live in a golden age of comic book movies at the moment.
Yes, we do.
Studios have been taking some creative risks when it comes to making these movies, including making spin-off films of their villains.
Yeah. Also, I mean, it's worth pointing out that we're going into a new age of X-Men with horror films and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well.
Some people are worth melting for.
A lot of villain-centric movies have been coming out and have been announced over the past couple of years. We have the Harley Quinn spin-off movie.
Didn't know about that.
We have Venom, which obviously the trailer's out for that. What were your thoughts on the Venom trailer?
Mixed feelings at this stage. I think given the whole Disney ownership and all the deals with that, it's quite hard to work out what the expanded lore of this is going to be. I love Tom Hardy. Not sure how it's going to be with him as Eddie Brock. I do, honestly, above all else, really love the CGI for it. Other than that, I don't have many opinions at this stage.
Okay. We've had some rocky attempts at villain-centric movies. We've had Catwoman in the past.
Oh, good lord.
We've had the Oscar-nominated Suicide Squad.
I mean, yeah, no, I don't know why that sounded like I was going to defend it. It doesn't deserve defending.
But yeah, that got us thinking, what are some other comic book villains that deserve their own spin-off films?
Suicide Squad 2.
And we actually went ahead and made our own pitches for these films, these theoretical films. Do you want to go ahead and pitch your idea as if I'm a movie executive?
Oh, cool. All right. I'm just going to read the synopsis for starters. So my film is going to be called Doom, and it's essentially like an origins film for Victor Von Doom and the Fantastic Four, although the film doesn't center around the Fantastic Four. In fact, the name Fantastic Four doesn't appear. Anyway, so Victor Von Doom leads an expedition through either a teleportation device or more likely just a rocket ship to an unknown Kree world. At this stage, the Kree aren't very well known, especially not to the public, so these guys don't know what Kree are. It's just in expanded universe what terms they know that the Kree exist. They find an old Kree temple, and the treasure within it is a Kree inhuman device. The device's purpose is not known and it isn't explored in the film, but in the expanded lore, the Kree forcefully evolved many of humanity's strongest warriors, and their descendants are known as Inhumans. Yeah, the Inhumans have their evolved abilities locked away to be reawakened upon contact with this little device. If an ordinary human touches it, the device burns their skin away as their genetic structure dissolves. Anyway, Von Doom hires astrophysicist and aerospace engineer Reed Richards, a language analyst Sue Storm, a hot-headed adolescent mechanical engineer Johnny Storm, who is her brother, and a pilot Benjamin Grimm. They bring the device towards their ship, and it is exchanged to another mercenary's hands whose DNA is burned away on contact because he is human. It encounters numerous individuals, including Von Doom, Richards, Johnny, and Sue Storm, Ben Grimm, and a few of the others. Many of them perish, and some of them survive. When they return to Earth, Johnny, Richards, Sue, and Ben are all taken to hospital. Their abilities are slowly starting to manifest, so it's clear they have abilities. Von Doom's abilities aren't made clear.
Yep.
And neither does he know what they are.
So this movie is going to be focusing on Doom and his origin as opposed to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, absolutely. Upon returning to Earth, Doom tries to buy the mercenaries permanently. The agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. arrive to secure the device.
Name drop!
I know, right? From Dr. Doom, but he refuses and attacks them and takes the mercenaries and the device away. He secures Sue Storm's notes as a language analyst to try and find the device's origins. This leads him to a small village in North Africa where he's separated from his mercenary gang and left wounded in a river. He's saved by a family from a local village and nursed back to health. He grows to love the village and is accepted as one of their own, and upon the villagers seeing the device in his possession, the chieftain and the shaman take him to a local cave that details the history of the device. While not explicitly the same device, another one at some point had found its way into the village's possession several generations earlier. While he's unsure of its alien origins. The village points to it being an artifact of witchcraft, which Doom begins to practice alongside science, developing an obsession for it. Believing himself to have inhuman powers, Doom becomes the village's protector while in conflict with a local tribe. They pass down their cultural mask of the Guardian, forged from metal vibranium, which they melt into a mask shape. Unfortunately, Doom, believing himself immortal from the inhuman device's influence, puts the molten mask on his face and turns it into his head.
Ooh.
Driven insane by obsession, ego, and injuries, he eventually takes ownership of the village and begins forcing the locals to touch the device to reveal their evolved forms as an experiment of his own. It is at this time that the mercenaries find Doom subjugating the town to cruel and unusual experiments. Initially, they try to stop him, but Doom proves too powerful, having it formed a suit of armor out of the vibranium, which makes him impervious to bullet damage. The agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reveal themselves at last to combat Doom and his mercenary forces, now accompanied by the superpowered beings Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. They're not called the Fantastic Four, as this isn't really a film about them, but they do have their abilities and are assisting S.H.I.E.L.D. in taking down Doom. They managed to stop Doom from his initial goal of transforming the Inhuman device into an aerial matter that can pass through the air to civilians, and they secure the device. However, they don't stop Doom completely, and he manages to retreat with his forces to the country of Hungary, where they intend on taking the country by force and annexing it into a new nation called Latveria.
Whoa.
And that's my story.
Oh, dude. I would not mind seeing that on the big screen. Obviously, the past few attempts at Fantastic Four movies have not been received too well, especially Fan4stick, which, in my opinion, is probably one of the worst superhero movies ever made.
It had a lot going for it. It looked enjoyable, but just had really bad pacing issues.
Yeah, I remember us watching it, and within the first 30 minutes, I'm like, this is actually a really promising setup, and I'm excited to see where this goes.
And then the third act starts immediately in half an hour.
And then the time skip happens, and we miss all the cool stuff about the Fantastic Four, and it really is an extremely joyless and bland movie.
Yeah.
to put it lightly, because they really wanted to push that whole dark and gritty angle, and that really didn't fit. But I think if you focus on Doom, like your pitch did, that it would be more interesting, because we really haven't seen an excellent comic book accurate Doom.
Yeah, I feel like if you do an Origins movie too many times in recent years, it becomes stale. So I like that with Spider-Man Homecoming, they skip the Origins, because they already know the viewers understand Spider-Man. And so that would be, I guess, the intention behind this one, because we skip the Fan4stick and the
It actually reminded me a lot of X-Men First Class, because that delved into Magneto's fall from grace. And
I actually really like that film, I'll be honest. It had, again, that also had its flaws, but what movie doesn't really?
Yeah. So who do you have cast as your characters?
This was the tougher one. Also, I'm going to be really bad at pronouncing names, so I apologize in advance for butchering the actors' names. Cast as Victor Von Doom, I've got Mads Mikkelsen, I believe it is, from Hannibal.
He's from Hannibal, and he's also the villain in Doctor Strange.
He is. He's in Casino Royale. I thought that was brilliant.
Galen Erso in Rogue One.
I'm not... Yeah, he was. I'm not 100% convinced on any of these casting choices, but I figured it was probably a good thing.
Well, think of it this way. Even if he doesn't... even if he's bad at the role, he'll have a mask on his face for most of it.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of the reason why I did it. I wanted to cover him up completely in an armor that they can't remove.
Yeah.
It doesn't take into consideration pee breaks and eating, which is a concern. Maybe that's his inhuman ability. I wanted to really push that throughout the entire film, we don't know what his ability is. He knows he is an inhuman because he touches the device and survives. He just doesn't know his abilities.
And I do like how you're incorporating the Inhumans and a lot of... we have S.H.I.E.L.D. in there.
The vibranium.
Yeah.
I would like to combine my lore. I haven't got an actor for Reed Richards because... Can
I suggest one?
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
No. I just love the original casting so much.
It's hard to recast that character after Ewan. Again, hard to pronounce names. Ewan Grufford?
I think that's it, yeah.
Okay.
Sue Storm. Your suggestion was Amy Adams, which not a bad one. I did see a fan cast that put, good lord, Rosamund Pike.
Yeah.
Maybe, who I recognize. From
Gone Girl?
Yes. Yeah.
Now she is the gone woman. Because she'll be gone, as in she'll turn invisible and not be visible, and that's what I mean by gone.
Gotcha, yeah.
Continue.
Johnny Storm, I put Sam Claflin in, who is Finnick, I think his name is, from Hunger Games.
Okay.
As Ben Grimm, I couldn't decide initially between Vin Diesel, which I think is brilliant. Isn't that good? I thought that's good.
It's clobbering time, family.
And Michael Cudlitz, who is from Band of Brothers and The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that was pretty solid pitch. That was Ben's pitch for Doom, the Victor Von Doom story.
A Marvel story.
Wait till you hear my idea, though.
Oh yeah.
My name is Jalen, and I am a Super Saiyan.